Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my spoilers review of Shazam, Fury of the Gods, the sequel, obviously, to the first Shazam movie, which came out in 2019. Okay, first of all, I love this movie. Okay, I love the first movie, so I was definitely looking forward to seeing this one. Okay, and of course, it's the Shazam family against the Daughters of Atlas, who want their powers back from the Marvel family, who got their powers, by the wizard. And they actually, there's a great opening scene in the beginning of the movie where they come into this museum and they get the staff that Shazam broke in half, the magical staff that he broke in half and apparently just threw away. It's in a museum now. Okay, and Lucy Liu, and there's a great scene where they grab pieces of the staff and they basically just go ham in this museum, and it's a great sequence. It reminds me a little bit of the sequence in the first movie where that boardroom scene where the monsters were just slaying people, human beings. But except for this one, it's less bloody. People get turned into stone and stuff, and they hypnotize them. And like I said, Lucy Liu plays Calypso, and I guess she has the power that she can speak to you and she can make you freak out or do something or reveal whatever truth she wants you to reveal. And Hespera, that's played by Helen Mirren. I guess she's the older sister. And then you have Athena, played by Rachel Zegler. Okay, now, one of the things I really liked about this movie, now, the movie with a lot of lead characters in this. You have the 6 members of the Marvel family. You got the 3 Sisters of Atlas. So that's 9 alone. Then you have the 2 parents, and then you got the wizard. So there's a lot of moving parts in this. So everybody is not going to get, full character development in this movie. There's 2 specific characters besides Zachary Levi, aka Shazam, aka Billy, who get some nice character development. And there's 2 characters in the first character I'm going to talk about is Mary, played by Grace Carol. What's her name? Carol Curry. She gets actually she played Mary in the last movie, but in this movie she was replaced in the first movie, when she changed into the superpowered version of herself by another actress. But in this movie, since she's an adult, I guess the director said, you know what, might as well let her play Mary anyway, since the character is over 18 anyway, so she's pretty much looking like she's going to look for the rest of her life, so it makes no sense to switch her out with another actress. So. Which I thought was nice, so we got to see more of her. And she seemed to be the rational version, or like the voice of reason to the Marvel family, especially to Shazam, who kept having doubts about himself, and she would calm him down and try to explain things to him. And I thought that was nice. I thought they had a nice dynamic going to her. And because, in the first movie, I think it was more of like he had kind of a crush on her. But in this movie, it's more, he's like, to him, that's his sister, and he's not crushing on her like before. And the other person that gets more to do in this movie is Jack Dylan Grazer as Freddie Freeman. I really loved his character arc in this movie. He's loving having his powers and stuff, and he's basically going out and fighting crime on his own and stuff. And I think when he calls himself Captain Super Every Power or something like that. I think that was the name that he called himself, Captain Super Every Power, which I thought was nice. So I liked when he was on the screen, and when, of course, Adam Brody was playing, the superhero version of Freddie Freeman. I thought that was really cool, in the way, the confidence he had, and the way he loved to do it. It's just a joy to behave. Like I said, he got the character arc because he actually got to meet the character of Athena, played by Rachel Zegler, in school. I think she was going by a different name in school. Was it Anna or something like that? I think that had been Anna. But anyway, he was still getting bullied and stuff, and she, was there for him, and they kind of developed this bond with each other and stuff, and you can tell he was totally crushing on her, and she said she liked him too. And of course, he's basically the first one to get zapped by the Sisters of Atlas and stuff, and of course they were on the mission to steal the powers of the Shazam family, and it really, I really liked the chemistry between Rachel Zegler and Jack Dylan Grazer. I thought they had a nice chemistry between each other, and you can tell the character of Athena wasn't completely evil. They did want to be borrowing their home world and stuff, but they didn't, not at the expense of she didn't want to do it at the expense of the humans on there. Now Lucy Liu's character, Calypso, she hated humans. She hated humans with a passion. Okay. And Helen Mirren, she was like the one in charge. She was more the take charge leader and stuff. But I like the dynamic between the 3 sisters as well. So that I thought was pretty good. And also, there's a cameo in there. There's a cameo in here, which I thought would play out differently. And I'll get to that in a minute. Tijima Hansu, who plays the wizard, I think I might have butchered his name, but he has even more to do, and I like his he gets a lot of scenes with Jack Dylan Grazer, aka Freddie Freeman, and I like their dynamic and stuff. Like he was kept calling him by the wrong name, I think on purpose, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. Okay, and like I said, the other Shazam members of the Shazam family didn't get as much to do, although we do get to have superhero Pedro come out to his family. And then it was a nice moment when he came out and everybody said, we knew, buddy. Basically, everybody knew that already. That was like the worst kept secret. Everybody knew that that he was gay. But I thought it was funny the way the way he blurted it out. And then everybody said, we already knew that. And I thought that was just nice. Like, no big deal. You still are Pedro. So they didn't care. So I thought that was really nice. And there's some really good CGI scenes too with Shazam fighting the whole underground stuff, and when when Lucy Liu's character planted the apple, and all the demons started coming out. I thought that was a really intense scene, and that's a good thing about these Shazam movies. They're willing to go to the length of showing people actually getting killed, which is very rare in like a family-friendly movie. They actually show people getting killed, which is pretty tough and pretty intense, which makes the stakes that much higher. And even the climax with Shazam, when he basically going on it alone against Lucy Liu's character, I thought those were some really intense movies, and the special effects were pretty intense and pretty good in those scenes. So I really enjoyed that movie for that. Like I said, the other members of the Shazam family, although the character of Darla, she had her little moment I thought was really good, and I even love that when Megan Good plays the superhero version of Darla, she still has that kid innocence, because there was a great moment in the beginning of the movie where they have this bridge shave, and that's a shave, and that's another great. The first big Aquan sequence is on when they come together. There's there's a bridge collapsing, and they all show up and they do their various rescues and stuff. And I thought that was really cool the way they showed them. Each person had a duty, something to do, and it was just really nice the way it played out. And I love that. Like I said, superhero Darla, she was still a little kid at heart when she went to rescue these girls on a car, and she saw that they had kittens, and she just absolutely fell in love with the kittens and grabbed the kittens and ran off. and the girls in the car said, "Did she just leave us?" I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Of course, she comes back to save them, but that was just hilarious. I found that absolutely hilarious. And again, like I said, there was a lot of good things in this movie. Speaking of the cameo that came in this movie was, of course, Wonder Woman, which they spoiled totally in like I think a super hit TV spot for this movie. There's I think two scenes if you technically think about it. With Shazam, it's a dream sequence where Shazam is dreaming that he's having dinner with Wonder Woman, and he wants to he wants to take it to the next level. Which I thought was absolutely hilarious, but then it turns into the wizard trying to send him a message that I thought was absolutely hilarious with the wizard's face on Wonder Woman's body. But then you see the actual real Wonder Woman towards the end, because Billy, when he makes his sacrifice to stop the Sisters of Atlas, and he dies, literally, and, they're at his graveyard, and they put a picture of him and Freddy on his grave, and I think it's Athena who says, only the power of God can bring him back. And then you see Wonder Woman. You hear that theme with that great, the Wonder Woman theme, the Hans Zimmer Wonder Woman theme, which is like one of the best superhero themes ever. Okay, and you hear that, and then she walks up, okay, and she grabs the staff and pushes it in the ground, and literally Billy wakes up from the dead. I thought that was good, but that came like after everything was over. I was kind of hoping that Wonder Woman would show up so at some point in the actual fight. And actually lend assistance, like maybe grab the dragon with her magic lasso, maybe knock around Lucy Liu's character a little bit. But that didn't happen. She just showed up in person at the end when Billy had to get resurrected, which was okay, but I would have preferred her to do that. And of course, Billy does a little light flirting with her, and she kind of puts him in his place and then steps off. And there is a post-credits, there's two scenes, because Wonder Woman scene is like towards the end, but there's a post-credit scene, well, I guess a mid-credit scene, where you see Uh, Hardcore, James Gunn's wife, her, the blonde, and the big guy, they're walking and complaining, and they basically walk up to Shazam and try to say, Amanda Waller wants you to be part of her team, and he said, yes, I'm in. I never want to be part of Justice League, and they go, no, not Justice League, Justice Society. Okay, she says Justice Society, which makes me hope that they will bring back those characters that were in the Justice Society, like Hawkman and uh, Whirlwind and Atom Smasher, because Dr. Fate died technically, although I hope maybe there's another Dr. Fate. So that would be cool if they do a Justice Society movie and you have Shazam in that. So I'm hoping what this means, because I think this was shot afterwards, that maybe James Gunn is going to keep Shazam in this universe, in the new DC Studios universe. I think that's what that means, because you have characters that are definitely carrying on, those Peacemaker characters, which should be in Amanda Waller's TV series. So I'm hoping that Zachary Levi does show up maybe in that Amanda Waller's TV series as Shazam. Maybe like he gets introduced to the other members of the Justice Society. I thought that was cool that they said that. They didn't say Justice League. They said Justice Society, which makes me think that maybe they are going to keep those characters. I hope they do keep Hawkman, Atom Smasher, and Whirlwind. Cyclone, excuse me, not Whirlwind. Cyclone, Atom Smasher, and the Hawkman, and then maybe they'll get a new Dr. Fate, since Pierce Brosnan, although I loved his character, maybe they'll get somebody else to be the new Dr. Fate. And you also have Shazam in it, which I think would be totally cool. Okay? And I don't care what anybody says about, oh, this movie bombed at the box office. This movie should not bomb at the box office. I just think because of the way they position this movie and stuff, that, with them saying that these things are not going to matter, that's why I think some people are not going to see it, which I think is a shame. They should definitely go out and see it. But I think, like I said, I think Warner Bros. Screwed up by having these movies to release and then saying, the new DC Studios thing is going to be new starting December 2025. And so in the meantime, these movies that you have coming out is not going to lead to anything, which I think is really silly. But I think they put that scene in there on purpose, the scene with Harcourt and the other guy, so that way, I think that's his way of keeping Shazam, which I'm praying that it is, and that we do get a third movie, because I definitely think it is. I think that would be good just to finish David F. Sandberg's trilogy. I think that would be nice, just to put a bow on top of it. That would be nice. This also brings me to the point of Dwayne Johnson, which I think was he was so laser focused on on Black Adam fighting Superman, instead of him going with the villain, him being the villain that he was supposed to be in the Shazam movies. Like, you could have even had like a teaser at the end of this movie of Black Adam getting ready to come or something. But like I said, he didn't want anything to do. Dwayne Johnson, like I said, his company produces this movie and the first movie, but he didn't want anything to do with Shazam. He thought it was too goofy and all that stuff, too much a kid movie and stuff. But Black Adam, like I said, is supposed to be the opposite of Shazam. He's supposed to be his main villain. So, Dwayne Johnson tried to write around that by not including him in there, which I think thought was a big mistake. So hopefully maybe James Gunn will fix that. Maybe in the third movie we'll get a different version of Black Adam to show up in this movie to wrap this up in a bow. I think that would be nice if they maybe cast a new actor as Black Adam and have him show up in the third movie. If they ever make it, fingers crossed, then we get a proper end to the trilogy. Shazam, battling against Black Adam. I think that would be cool if they actually did that. Go through that when they do the third movie. That would be good. Okay, I would love to see that. But anyway, I love this movie. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was just as good as the first movie. I know a lot of people think the first movie is better, but I think the first movie definitely had its points to it and stuff. But I think I like this movie a little bit better. Although, like I said, the kids didn't have as much to do. Some of the kids, but I like that Freddie Freeman, Jack Dylan Grazer, he got a lot more to do. I love this chemistry with Rachel Zegler, who plays Anthea. I thought they had great chemistry together. And there's a great scene of them together at the end, battling, yelling up against Lucy Liu's character and her dragon. I thought it was really good. It showed that Freddie had heart. I loved that scene. And also, like I said, Mary, the actress who plays Mary, she had a lot more to do in this movie too. So I like their development. And like I said, the character of Darla had a little moment to shine. The actress who actually played Darla, not Megan Good's character, who plays the kind of the adult version of it. But there was a nice moment with the younger Darla, basically recruiting these unicorns with using Skittles, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. Okay, but that was a nice moment for her, the young actress who plays regular human Darla. I thought that was really nice. So I'm definitely hoping that we get a third movie, and hopefully maybe that is Black Adam. If I was David F. Sandberg, oh yeah, and there's a post-credit scene too with the little I forgot the character called. The character is called the Caterpillar, and then we had Dr. Z. He was there too, Mark Strong. Okay, and they threw like a funny joke about him. The guy saying, "No, it's been 2 years since you said you were going to get me out of here." And he says, "Listen, I'm a caterpillar. I can't fly. It takes me a while to get everywhere," which is kind of BS because I forgot the character's name, the caterpillar, but he has the ability to take over people's minds, so he can actually get place to place. So that was just like an inside joke just to do that. But I hope that they definitely get Black Adam for the third movie. I don't care if they recast. I know they probably won't do it because the Dwayne Johnson's movie came out before that, so maybe they want to kind of distance themselves from it. But I definitely think they should get their version of Black Adam in this movie, and I think that would work. I think that would be fantastic to have Zachary Levi's Shazam go up against the actual Black Adam. I think that would be good, and against Shazam Penny there to lend support as well. And I definitely think that could happen. Okay, because I know, like I said, these movies are not. There's some dark moments in these movies. The first one and this movie, so I can see them doing the third movie with Black Adam and his messed up history and stuff, and that kind of being kind of dark, like going up against Shazam. I think that would be great. But also, somebody mentioned this, and I definitely think this is true. But this doesn't stop my enjoyment of the movie. Zachary Levi, who plays adult Billy, or Shazam, and Asher Angel, who plays Billy Batson. It's like they almost switch personalities, basically. Like, Zachary Levi is supposed to be, the younger version of Asher Angel's character, but when he's Billy Batson, Asher Angel, he plays this character like more mature. And when he's Shazam, Zachary Levi, he plays the character as if he is a teenager. He's goofy and all that stuff. So it's like their personality switch, which I think that's absolutely hilarious, that the way they basically switch personalities. But I still enjoy Zachary Levi doing his thing. Like I said, Asher Angel was in this he had his moments in this, but Zachary Levi is, him, Jack Dylan Grazer, the actress who plays Grace, definitely cool. Now, again, I gave this movie an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. I think it's definitely a nice follow-up to the first movie. And like I said, the mid-credit scene is Shazam getting recruited by Amanda Waller to the Justice Society, which makes me pray that maybe they will do a Justice Society movie, which I think would be cool. You got Hawkman, hopefully a new Dr. Fate, Cyclone, and Atom Smasher with Shazam. I think that would be cool if they get their own movie. Okay, I would definitely watch that. But hopefully he gets a third movie. I hope they complete the trilogy by putting a third movie in this trilogy. But anyway, let me know what you think of Shazam, Fury of the Gods. If you've seen it, what do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. I have links to my social media in the description box, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also have a link to my other channel called Views and Opinions. You can check that out as well. Also have a link down below to my Patreon. I want to say a special thank you to my Patreon. My Patreon is only $5 a month. I have tons of content on there, tons of unedited content on there. I got Marvel TV shows, DC TV shows. I got movies on there as well. I got Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian, The Boys Season 3. Follow link below to the Patreon. Check it out. And it's only $5 if you want to support me. You get unedited content on it. Also, please give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I upload new content to this channel. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.